Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and I'm excited to talk to you about something that I learned about many years ago. And when I did, the person who was telling me about it scared the bejesus out of me. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that we go through this. And the more she kept talking, the more I was like, oh my gosh, I am completely terrified by this. And then I started doing some research. And I also realized that there was a lot more than what she was telling me about it. So today we're going to talk about Mercury in retrograde. One of the things that is really important to understand, Mercury in retrograde gets a really bad reputation. Bad reputation. Although it's really not that bad. So it's also the energy that you bring at it. So I want you to start thinking about it in some of the ways that I bring up to you on this video and really think about it. I'd also like for you to subscribe and like and comment on this and tell me how you feel about it, or even how you learned about Mercury in retrograde. That has been some funny stories that I've heard from people. So one of the great things to understand is Mercury, the planet, is in charge of communication. And as we circle around this big ball of fire called the sun, and we have an elliptical orbit, it's almost like a racetrack. So as we circle around, the energy kind of looks like it changes. And it's one of those, because Mercury has such a short cycle around the sun, sometimes it looks like it's going faster than us. And then sometimes on the curves, it looks like it kind of slows down and we kind of take over. That's retrograde. And it looks like it even could stop or stand still, and then it'll start catching up. It's got on a little bit different trajectory than we are. So one of the things that's really interesting to learn is that Mercury is always sending us energy, and the energy comes in our communication, except for in retrograde it kind of slows down or almost feels like it's not there, but it always is, and it's in different things. So I want you to understand Mercury is about communication, and when he goes into retrograde, what he's doing really is he's highlighting problems or issues you already had in communication. It's just coming up so that you can step into a new um, decision to communicate with other people in your world better, to communicate with the people in your life. And this could be everybody: your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, your aunts, your uncles, your kids, your children, your grandparents, whatever that is. It's all about communication. And then it also goes into our work, our boss, our employees, our coworkers. All of that is important, and that we get clear communication with them so that we all feel that we're all being heard, and that we feel like there's things that we can do about this. There's things that we can do or deal with. So one of the most kind of things important to understand about Mercury in retrograde, it's all about the in the communication field. It's re-examine, rethink, re-look at, recreate, whatever it is. It's all about the restructuring. Retrograde. Okay, so when we have communication with someone, if you're talking to someone and you think that y'all decided to do plan A, and they think that you've decided to do plan B, you're on the different page. You're not on the same, this is what we're going to do, on the same kind of team at all. So it's one of those, when there's a miscommunication in, especially Mercury in retrograde, but anytime, you should make sure that you have clear communication. And it's a really good thing to just like, I'm choosing to have clarity in this. I think we're on plan A. Where do you think we are? And once we get really clear, and it doesn't mean that you're picking one over the other, it's like, I just want to know, I thought that's what we decided, so maybe it's not. So it gets us really clear communication. And the further away from your face, the more likely you are to have issues in communication. So if we were talking face to face and you didn't understand something I said, I could read it on your face of going, oh wait, so and so has not understood what I was talking about, so now I need to redefine this, or explain it in a different way. Yet, the further away from face to face communication we get, the more likely we are to have miscommunications. So, when we text or email or send emojis or whatever else, sometimes it can be less clear, although we think we're being really clear. And that's the problem with this. And when we have triggers that come up with that, it can be even more overwhelming, because not only usually are we triggered, but the person we're talking to is being triggered. So a couple of years ago, I had contacted a girlfriend and I needed to borrow something from her. And she said, well, I have my family coming over. And, after they go, then you're more than welcome to come over and pick up whatever said item. And I said, great, not a problem. So I went about my day and I was looking for something else for my family and they didn't have it close to me. So I went to a store a couple of towns over and I picked it up from there. Well, when I was coming back, I realized, oh my gosh, I could easily swing by her house and pick this up. So I pulled off to the side and I texted her and I said, hey, I'm in your area. Do you mind if I pick it up now? Well, she sent me back kind of a snipey little thing going, no, my family's here. And I could just tell by the energy of the text that we were on having a miscommunication. So I texted back and I said, do you have a minute or two to chat for just a second? We need to get clear on this. So she called me, we talked for literally a minute and a half and cleared up the whole thing. What I was hearing is in my family, it's always the grunt, 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 grunt. So that's what I was hearing from her and not understanding that she was being overwhelmed by what was happening in her house and her family being there. And then she was hearing it as someone didn't trust that she had the item. And so it's one of those, and we communicated literally a minute and a half, got on the same page, and then we were able to move on with life without any problems or anything else. It was just like, now we're on clear communication. So that's the best part. When you're being triggered, usually the other person is being triggered as well. And that gives you a state of, now we can make a new decision. Now we can make a new choice to go ahead in our relationship. Or if there's a misunderstanding, now we understand that we both have a misunderstanding and we want to get it really clear. So when you have a misunderstanding or a misstatement or something that's not, everybody's on the same page, make sure that you're asking for the clarity that you really require in this. Asking the other person, like, I think we picked plan A. What do you think we picked? And so we can talk it out and we can have clear communication. That is the best part of Mercury in retrograde, is it's going to highlight where you already have had an issue and you get to clear it out. You get to clean it up and you get to start fresh in a new relationship almost with someone else. It's like, wow, now that we're on the same page, this is what I'm feeling and this is what this person is feeling. We get a chance to bring this to a new healed state and bring it all back around. So Mercury in retrograde is not something to be afraid about or be terrified about, but it is a great time of year to realize where the miscommunications are, where you can step up and you can have clear communication with yourself, with other people, and bring yourself to a new healed state. So that's the best part of Mercury in retrograde. If you have any questions, make sure you comment below and I make sure that I will comment back to you and give you all the information you require. I hope you have an amazing night and I know we'll be talking soon.